recruiter, when I popped up the poll for questions on my Instagram account, excrewnextcrew, has asked me to share with you the story about my life in Doha and my journey in Qatar. So in today's video, I will speak about it, although I very much hate to talk about my life and my things over here on my social media platform on YouTube, as I do believe that my Instagram account and my YouTube channel are actually a platform for you. But I think that she had a right, as there are a lot of people who would like to know how I was living in Doha, how was my life in Doha. Although I made a video which is called Pros and Cons of being a cabin crew in Qatar Airways, and I will leave a link of that video in the description box below. Because obviously a perfection or a super pro environment was there. However, cons are also part of everyday's life, irrespective wherever we are. But what is important in that video is I'm sharing with everyone how I was dealing with the things that were not so pleasant, that were going against that pleasant work environment and that pleasant living lifestyle. But again, this video is not going to be about the pros and cons. This video is going to be purely about how my life and my journey in Qatar looked like. So let's start. And before we start, my name is Julia George. I used to be a cabin crew and flew for Qatar Airways for 10 years, where I have resigned from my last work position as a cabin service director, and I'm studying currently aviation management master program at Wildau Institute of Applied Science in Berlin. And that's all about it. I'm married, I have a daughter, I live in Germany, and I have a dog. So I think that most of you that are with me over here on my social media platforms, they know that I lead a pretty simple but a very busy lifestyle. I work also, I'm a snore lab assistant at Helios Clinic in Schwerin over here in Germany. So yeah, and a social media content creator, which is elaborating the topic of how to become a cabin crew for the airline that you're wishing for. Finally, let's start. As I'm going to be talking and sharing with you how my life in Doha, Qatar looked like, I will be having a lot of videos which I was able to download it from my Google Photos account, which apparently I found, and I think that are relevant in order to present to you how was my life in Doha when I was not flying, what are the things that I was doing, and how everything looked like. I think that I led a pretty simple life in Doha. But that depends on which perspective you're looking. And I do believe that once you become a cabin crew, you will also find your own unique way of how you will be having your life in Doha. And going back to the non-negotiable rules and regulations, or to your recruitment process, you have to actually display that cultural intelligence or that ability to live and work in a multicultural environment, because Qatar by itself is an airline, or it's a country that the cultural diversity is very obvious everywhere you go. And I will not talk predominantly which nationality is there and which nationality is less. However, wherever you're gonna step up in Qatar and go, you will see different cultures, and it is the same thing as in the place where you will be living as a cabin crew. So therefore, if you pass successfully that parameter of cultural intelligence and being that culturally intelligent candidate, I have no doubt that you will be living in Qatar and you will be living your dream. I have to share that from the beginning, when I started flying until the end, until I finished my career in Qatar Airways, my life was not the same. I didn't lead a one life throughout the entire living in Qatar as a expat, but it was rather change, and I think that change came with the process of getting mature, getting more experience, getting more knowledgeable, and definitely getting to know more people. So at the beginning, I knew very little people from my country, because I was in between the first Macedonians who joined Qatar Airways, and I was very focused on the training. I was very oriented on, as the cabin crew role was something very new for me. I knew literally nothing about customer service. So I was so dedicated to learn, and I was very tired the first 6 months. And you will see, once you become a cabin crew, you will see that your body will take time to adjust through the lifestyle, as the flying is not the same as you're doing a job that is on the ground. So I took an adjustment period of 6 months. I was hanging out very frequently with my batchmates, with the girls that we had together training. However, it was after the training, it was very hard to meet. Why? It's because we all have different schedules, and one of the negative things about getting your best friend cabin crew or having a best friend cabin crew is that you will not be seeing your best friend cabin crew or your boyfriend. It's the same thing very regularly, so it requires a lot of patience, if I may say. So once we started flying with our batchmates, we were not able to meet on a regular basis, and but I was frequently hanging out with my flatmates. I lived with Mel and Laura, who are very experienced cabin crew working for Qatar Airways, and we were doing a lot of things together. We were going out together, cooking together, going to the gym. I was often seeking their advices, and actually I think that my entire successful career is something that I owe to their very valuable advices. If one of them is watching this video, so huge thanks. I think that without you, I wouldn't have the start that I had. And after a year of flying, they both resigned at the same time. Mel got married and formed a family, and Laura moved to Spain, Barcelona, where she started her teaching career. And they're both very successful. I'm very proud of them, actually. And soon after they left Qatar, I had new flatmates. One was from India, and the other one was from South Africa, which we also had an amazing living with them, doing a lot of things together, going out together, cooking together, as much as the time in Qatar was allowing. I have to share with you, the first 2 years living in Qatar as an expat were a time where I was trying to find myself, trying to find what my hobbies will be there. I'm in a completely new living environment. It's hard to make friends. I actually have to share with you, I didn't know how to make friends, because the moment I would think that they're my best friends, I'm not seeing them for 2 weeks, I'm not seeing them for a month. So it's really hard to form that strong friendship. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but at the same time, on your days off, you also want to visit your family, or you want your family to come and visit you. So the first 2 years were a period of adaptation, and then things were becoming a bit more easier, if I may say, because one of the daughters of my mom's friends, my parents' friends, came to Qatar. I met her. She's Macedonian. In fact, still lives in Qatar, and she introduced me to all the girls that she worked with. She was working in a beauty salon, and then we very soon formed a strong friendship with them. In between, I met my dear friend Dr. Susanna, and we started hanging out together, and it was a whole new chapter starting of my life there. I was very soon able to discover and enroll into a hobby which was called going to the gym very frequently. And I think one of the easy circumstances in this scenario was, or in this case, was that all the girls I was hanging out were not flying. They were always on the ground, because they were working in a beauty salon. One was makeup artist, hairstylist, and Dr. Susanna, and we all were it was kind of easier, because they would always wait for me whenever they are. I would just pop up. I mean, not in a wait for me in a real sense of the word, they're sitting and waiting for me, but they would always go out, and as soon as I land, I have a gang where I can join. This was the easy circumstance, and this is how we started hanging out, and we formed a strong friendship which lasts till today. We talk to each other, we hear each other. Unfortunately, COVID crisis stops us from flying. We can't visit each other, although me and my family were planning a trip to Qatar for 2022 for the World Cup, but this is yet to see how the things will be developed in future. And going to the gym became, in fact, the top priority for me in Doha. Why I'm saying the top priority? Because I ensure that whenever I have days off, and the days off in Doha were between 7 and 11 days off of the month. If I don't decide to travel, if I have a block of 4 days off, I would always take a flight and go home. But I will always ensure that I am visiting the gym. At the beginning, I started visiting the gym in the accommodation where I was living. We also had a swimming pool. But then soon I discovered that I feel much nicer if I go in a gym that it's outside, because I have a chance to see more dynamic environment where people are working out, where there are more people actually, because in the cabin crew gym I would see 2-3 girls that are working out. And you know, when you are, let's say, in a normal gym where, let's say, there are, I don't know, 50 people working out, the desire to work out is even more. And then I was also enrolled to personal trainer classes, which was something that helped me lose a lot of weight. I lost a lot of weight when I was a cabin crew, because at the point in time I gained a lot due to having to eat that delicious food on board the aircraft. However, that soon was taken under control, and I was very, very happy with the results that I get. So here was the days off looked like. I'm waking up in the morning and I'm having my breakfast. I would always cook my breakfast because most of the time, if not all the time, I'm away from home and I'm on the airplane, which is I tend to eat the food that is on board the aircraft. Then I'm in a hotel, which I tend to eat room service, and I eat outside when we go outside visiting the destination. So when I have those days off, that's the time I can feel really productive and cook a delicious meal for myself. So I'd make the breakfast and then I will go to the gym, I will exercise, or if I decide that day to leave the gym at the end, one of the things that I was doing very frequently with my friends there who were not cabin crew, we were going to the beach. It was, I think that in one of my posts on my Instagram, I shared that one of the favorite places for me in Qatar was Talia Mare Beach. It's at the Pearl, and we were the people that you would see them all the time there with my friends. And it was kind of fun thing to, you know, sit on the beach all day, swim, although it was hot, but it was still pleasant to swim. It was really nice. And one of the things that I think that helped me to be mobile and to move around, you know, and to just be on the spot somewhere where my friends are, is I bought a car. So I think that my life totally changed. I was 4 years in Doha, I think, when I bought my car already, and I could just, you know, if we had a curfew, I still think it takes place, but the curfew means that I have to be home by 4 in the morning, and I can leave the house already 7 in the morning next day. So if I'm, let's say, bored at 10 o'clock at night and I want to see my friend, I could just, you know, drive to Wakra where she was living, and I would see her. I would either have dinner, tea, whatsoever, talk to her, and I can come back at 2 a.m. We were also very frequently with my friends going to the cinema, to the cinemas. We didn't have like a preferred cinema that we go, but as soon as a good movie was released, we were there and ensuring that we're gonna watch it. And another hobby, if I may say, and I think it's a hobby that me and Dr. Susanna were practicing, is we were visiting the Qatar Philharmonic, which is a place where often concerts of classic musics were organized, and I'm pretty much someone who loves and enjoys classic music. That is something that my mom has introduced to me since I was a child. So it was a great place to, I wouldn't say escape, but you know, to just be for an hour or two into a world where you can just close your eyes and you can travel back in time and imagine the lyrics of, I don't know, Beethoven, of Tchaikovsky, and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed going to the Philharmonic in Qatar, and in fact, it's an outstanding place, and they really were doing a lot of inventions over there, bringing orchestras from all over the world, and I really liked it. I spoke about going to the beach, I spoke about going to the gym, and I think that this was all about my life in Qatar. Going for dinners and restaurants, it was also a thing that I was doing, which I forgot to mention at a point in time when I was living in Doha, and I think this is something that literally every cabin crew is followed by. I was really frequently going to the clubs at one point in time, going out and clubbing. As you know, Qatar is really an amazing place for clubbing. People will tell you, yeah, it's so early to go out from the clubs because at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. the clubs are closing. We actually found our way how we manage with that. Maybe we start drinking when we go out at 8 in the night, but we make sure we have the best time of our life until 2 a.m. Go there after the clubbing, eat something, and then come home at 4 a.m. Curfew was a never problem for me. I see a lot of ex-cabin crew and a lot of cabin crew complaining about the curfew. However, I knew that it's there. I knew I joined Qatar Airways when curfew was not there, and I never slept at anyone's accommodation because I had no reason for that. And I remember when me and my first flatmates were going out, Mel and Laura that I mentioned, we would go, I don't know, in Shark or in Seven, and would come back, and that's it. We have no reason to be out after 3 or 4 in the morning. So that was the thing that never bothered me until the end of my career. I have to share this, and I had no problems with it. And clubbing was always an amazing thing, but I soon stopped it because I wouldn't say it became boring, but I discovered that it was something that makes me very tired next day. If I, let's say, have 3 days off, and out of those 3 days I go clubbing one day, the next day I have to spend it in bed because I've been drinking the previous night, and I can't go to the beach, I feel tired, or I can't exercise. So I decided that I'll just I'll try to avoid it. But I was not completely not going out. I was here and there whenever is a birthday, or my fiance, now my husband, would come to Qatar. We would go out. There would be an occasion to just gather with people. I would definitely go out. I was going out for dinners and lunch, breakfast, brunch. It was a famous thing, the brunch, breakfast, and lunch, a combination. And it was pretty awesome. Ramadan, maybe somebody would ask me, how was Ramadan? Ramadan is also an awesome time in Qatar to be in, or to be in any Middle Eastern country there. Why? Okay, during the day the restaurants will be closed. However, at 6 o'clock at night is the time when you're gonna have the most delicious meal in any restaurant that you go. Depend on the cuisine that you would wanna explore and try. But I remember that Ramadan was a good time. We discovered during Ramadan one beach club in Qatar. I think it was called Oasis Beach Club. I don't know if it still exists. And that beach club was open during Ramadan. They were not serving food, but we were able to bring our food. And there was a place which was, kind of on the side where we could go. It was kind of tent, and we could go and we could consume the food. So we were all days during Ramadan there with our friends, and we had really an amazing time. So again, I would come to the point where I mentioned at the beginning of this video that I led a pretty simple, but it was a quality lifestyle for me. Because why I say it's quality lifestyle, if I'm flying and I tend to see the world, and I tend to eat healthy on the flights, I tend to eat healthy on the layovers, and tend to visit places on the layovers that are nice and good to visit. I was trying to do the very same thing when I was in Doha, trying to have a quality time, trying to build up relationships with my friends that I formed those relationships, and they're lasting until today. Visiting quality places, doing activities that will help me feel better. And one of that activity was going to the gym and going to the beach. I like to be 10, although now I don't have the opportunity to be 10. I live in Germany. Hello. I'm just kidding. And due to COVID, we have not traveled much to beach places, but I'm really looking forward to our vacation, and I'm looking forward to going to Qatar and seeing all my friends there. And I do believe that Qatar is a place where you as a cabin crew should not be staying in your room and only watching Netflix, although there are people who are living their life being in their rooms and watching Netflix on their days off. Again, I can't judge on that, as everyone has a different reasons why they have joined the airline, and everyone people there who tries to save money as much as they can, trying to be away from expenses. You can have a simple and a quality life. You don't have to go to expensive gym. You can just go to the gym in the place where you live. You can do a balance. Your priorities can be balanced. I'm not a person who sits at home, and eating rice and noodles and watching Netflix. Again, I cannot judge when people are doing that. As I have said, everyone has their reason why they're doing it. At a point in life, we come to a conclusion whether what we have done was right or was wrong, perhaps. And the things that we take as activities that we do or we don't do are pretty much connected to our personalities. And this is actually how you grow. This is how you would end up the life of a career as a cabin crew, and this is how you will see yourself. What are you gonna do in future? What is now left for me? What do I want now for myself? Because you've been a cabin crew, or I was a cabin crew, so what do I do now with myself? And I think my outgoing personality and my enhanced interpersonal skills after being a cabin crew has led me to where I am now, in terms of career development, in terms of my studies now, and in terms of all the things that I am in the process of achieving, and I'm really looking forward so much. So thank you, Carmen, once again for popping up this question, and I hope that I have given an insight on how my life and my journey in Qatar has been. And for those of you guys watching this video, thank you very much for watching it. Click the subscribe button, and I'm gonna be seeing you very soon. Bye bye and have a nice day.